Hello. It is a little bit later on Wednesday, and I forgot that while I was waiting for the vlog to upload, and so that I could do all the stuff, and I had to save it as well first, I worked on a part out, and I got pretty much all this done. It is completely parted out, and this is the set here. This is the Jedi Temple, I think it is. I've got the boxes over here. We'll just take a look quick. The Tennu Jedi Temple. And yeah, I paid $15 for these, or at least a couple of them. And I had 5 copies, and so I'm just like, we're going to do it. And here's all the pieces. We decided we're going to sell all the figures as whole figures. So we got that stuff over there. And the capes came in these little things that actually were a little bit bigger than this one. But I had some of these smaller ones, and so basically there was 2 capes in the one box. I just split them off into these, and I kept the slightly larger box because they fit in there, and I couldn't get a larger box in there. But these are all the pieces, so obviously it's a 4+ set. You've got these really big hunky pieces, but that is all right. I imagine somebody could make use of these as internal structuring for something larger, but this was going to wait until probably Friday before anything gets done with it, and that is fine. But I'm going to cut it now, and I'm going to probably go get some sleep because I got to get ready for tomorrow. As always, thank you. Well, here we are. I have successfully rented the cargo van, and I'm waiting for my co-pilot to get back out of the house. He picked me up to go pick up the truck, and now we're dropping his car off at home, and then we'll be on the way. I do have to make at least one more stop at the bank. But yeah, this is going to be the cargo van for the trip today. We are heading to Indian Lake, New York. It's going to be a bit of a trip, but I think it'll be worthwhile in the end. And we'll come back with some more updates later on. Thank you. Well, here we are at the other end of the trip, and we have loaded the truck. I have a whole bunch of Acro units that have parts in them. They had kept the boxes, so they're in the boxes for easy travel, and all sorts of other stuff back here. We've got sealed sets, we've got parts, we've got containers. It's going to be a fun time going through all this, and it's going to take a little bit of time. So the next thing we have to do is close up, get out of here, and get something to eat because we're kind of hungry. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, testing. Go for it.
All right, so we have just picked up the Lego load, and it is in the back. As you can tell, I am not holding the phone myself. My co-pilot Rudy is doing that. There, he's waving. And so yeah, we're on the way back. We are in the Adirondacks, way up in the Adirondacks. It's a great view, and so you can probably see some of the views beyond me. We're just trying to get some footage because I thought it'd be kind of cool. And it looks like up on the right here, there's going to be some water showing up. Actually, I'd say it was on the right, but it looked like the right, now it's the left. But anyway, there's some frozen over water. I mean, it's been cold up here for so long that they haven't had a lot of warm days, that we still have bodies of water that are snow and ice covered. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, we had a good time. They had actually pretty much everything already on the porch for us when we arrived, and there was just a little bit more that had to come downstairs. And we got the back packed as I showed, and so now we just have the long drive home. It's about 3.5 hours, and then and we're probably gonna stop for food as well because I'm gonna be pretty hungry by the time we get closer to home. So I'm gonna probably deal with that. And I can't think of much else that I want to cover right now, but we're going to leave the camera running a little bit just to get some more of this views, because there's some of the hills back there for the Adirondacks, and of course now I'm gunning the van here to get it up the hill, but we got a little bit more weight in the back than we did on the way here. But yeah, it's a nice little view. Oh, and if we look forward, there's a kind of a really tall hilly mountain type thing. It's kind of fun to see that. So yeah, it's a nice drive. I've definitely enjoyed it, and Rudy's enjoyed it as well. And we will come back with some more update later. Thank you. Hello. It is Friday, and we got back from the trip late last night and unloaded. Ben was still here, and that was kind of part of the plan. He helped unload. And there's some stuff right here. So 4 of these came. So I now have 4 more of these to add to this pile. I got one of these as well. which I think I already had some of. That's a different one, so maybe I don't. We'll see. We'll find out at some point. They could be in the closet there. And then over here, it's kind of a mess. This box here is a mix of the Funko Pops and Lego and empty containers. And now we've got some bulk Lego here, plus this looks like it's a sealed set. Just random mishmash of stuff in here. There is this box here has plastic holders for Funko Pops. And then here, over here is pretty much all Lego related stuff. This box here and this one down at the bottom I brought with me, and we basically put sealed sets in them, and that worked out pretty well. And on this side, these were all pretty much boxes that were there ready for us, and they all pretty much have Funko Pops in them. Here's an old vacuum box, and it's just, they're stacked up in there. So there's a lot of stuff here. And then we've got this crate with these containers for parting out and that sort of thing, and I'm not sure if I'll use those or not. We will see. If not, we can recycle them for sure. And then now we're going to go downstairs. I'm going to get a couple of lights here before I do. Here's that one. Here's that one. We're going to go downstairs and look at downstairs, because some stuff did go downstairs immediately. And we're going to go down there and take a look-see. It was quite the task to get everything in, but it was pretty quick. I mean, there was 3 of us, so that helped. Myself, Rudy, and Ben. Get this closed. I do have like 3 orders to deal with. A couple of them came in today. Only one came in yesterday, so that's not too bad. But the Bionicle table was cleared off while I was gone. That was the plan. And then all the Acro drawer units came down to go on the table. Now, many of them are labeled with number ranges, and these are the drawer numbers that he had been using. Some of them are not. And he said there's at least 1 or 2 Acro drawer units in here that are empty. So we'll have to find those at some point. But like, this is the first one, 1 through 64, and somewhere there's a 65 through 128, and so on and so forth. And they're all down through here like that, and then there's all down here. There should be 19 of them total. And we will organize them and make sure that everything seems to be in order at some point, and then we're just going to start trying to work on getting it into the store. Now, the problem with that is, now one of those boxes upstairs contains all of the broken down boxes from the sets that he'd parted out. He had been closed long enough that his inventory had been deleted by Bricklink, so we don't have an easy way to do this. However, I did talk to him a bit, and he did, like, you know, he started off like parting out a set and putting it in the upper left corner and then down and so on and so forth. And once I get these in order, I can start looking at the drawers and figuring out what pieces are in them. I could probably figure out what sets are in them based on what sets he parted out. And once we do that, then I can probably propagate, let's say, a set that he parted out into a file, and then go through the first few drawers and say, okay, yeah, here's all the pieces, except for these, like maybe they're extra and maybe there's something missing, and I can adjust the file and then move on from there. It's going to be not the easiest process, but it's not going to be horrible. He did not have many sales when he did have the store open, he said. So, honestly, he said it was like 3 or 4. So, we're going to hope that that's accurate, and we're going to hope that we can get a good track on what was in all the drawers. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as he parts out a set, it could be a part that was in the first set, was in the 5th set, and then it got moved from where it was with the first set to near where the 5th set is. So there's going to be a lot of that that's going to go on. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we can get this to work out pretty well. But this is not a task for immediately. I want to take care of the orders that I have. I also need to organize some stuff upstairs with all that stuff, the Funko Pops. I do want to go through them quickly, but I do have somebody that may be coming by to take them off my hands, because that would be a great godsend for me. And then as well, I have a lot of the new sets made to go directly to Bricks ROC. We will see. But at the moment, that is all I have. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, we're just going to continue on with everything that we've been doing, and we're going to still do more of it. Thank you. Hello. So I've just finished pulling 4 orders, and it took me like an hour and 40 minutes, and you can see why. This is the top order. This is for somebody in the lug, and it is a whole heck of a lot of pieces. Many of them not in very large quantity, 1 to 4 or so. And there's a few with more, but very few I would say that are 20 or more. This is the second order. Also, not particularly large quantities, but many less lots. And we'll get this shipped out. They got the one minifigure. They got these 3 mask things that I'm sure Ben uploaded at some point. And then they got this guy, which has been in the store for quite a while. And then the third order, they got those 2 minifigures, the 1 radar dish, and those hubcaps or wheel rims or something like that. And then over here, they got, this person just got those bar elements and then those connector elements, and that is it. So we're going to double check these 3 here, and then we will get those packed up and ready to go. And then this one is going to get picked up at Bricks ROC, and I need to work on getting that packed up and ready to go as well. As always, thank you. Questions at the bottom. Hello. So it is Friday. And I got to the post office with 4 packages. I actually had another order come in that I did not take any video of because I was running a little short on time. I was also watching the live stream from Just a Brick in the Bucket in their new Michigan warehouse where DNA Bricks used to be. And they let the bombshell come out that they're no longer consolidating their store. Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's going to work for them. DNA Bricks was already not consolidating. They took over his store. It would be a monumental task to try to consolidate his stuff into theirs. And it's just like, even if DNA Bricks was consolidated, they would very likely have 2 of some things, because once they get their store uploaded, and so fully integrating would have just taken forever. And it could have been something they did over time, but I certainly understand the decision they made. I mean, there's something to be said about not consolidating. I certainly understand the concept. I don't poo-poo the concept at all. It's just, for me, it does work that I am actually still consolidating. I will say, though, because like with Ben adding parts, the drawers have multiple types of pieces in them. Sometimes the difference is very simple. Like you've got a bunch of different printed pieces and then a lamppost. But yeah, and it's like a lot of drawers like this through here are like that. But even down here, in stuff that I was uploading through the slopes were really problematic for me. I have multiple parts in the same compartment. So I've got this one here and this one here. There you've got 3 different ones in there and then a different one back here. So I mean, it's just very common for me in these. I think, you know, one of each of those. It's pretty easy to tell the difference. And then a red piece in the back. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, see, there's one. It's all one. And I could probably fit all those in half a drawer, although maybe not quite. This one, we actually only have 2 parts in there. So there you go. But they add some mix through here. And it's just the way of it. I try really hard still in the rest of the store. I haven't done that. And of course, I have to decide what I'm doing when the next one gets built. Because obviously this side here, once it's built, would be new. And then this side over here, once it's built, would be used. And it's like, because I have subcategories in here, what am I going to do with those subcategories? So I think I need to have one for Bionicle. And I think I need to have one for printed and minifigure parts, because that's what Ben has been putting through here. So once I pull printed and minifigure parts, move those. This one, it never really got used. I mean, it says minifigures, animals, accessories up there for these 2. And there's some of that here, but I used a lot of these for 1x plate that needed more room. Mostly 1x1 clips of various sizes and colors. Or not sizes, 1x1 clips. Well, the clips, because they come out, they're flat, or they're up like this, or there's a clip straight up. There's all sorts of different clips for the 1x1. So there's those. But he's been putting a lot of minifigure parts in through here. And so that could pull out at some point. And it would just be over time, I think we would start moving it to the new location. So like if he was putting away a part that already existed in the store, the concept would be he'd get it from where it was and put it in a new location. So I'm thinking 2 bays of that, maybe 3. I need to have Bionicle, and I think Bionicle is going to need at least 2, if not 3. So if I go with 3 in each, that only leaves me 2 more columns. This one has been, I think it was this one, he used a lot for a lot of bar elements right through here. And so we could put bar elements, could stay here, because it was supposed to be Plants and Natural. And there's a few at the very top of Plants and Natural, but mostly there is none. And so I could then move plants out to 1 column, which would give me 1 more column over there free and clear. Don't know what I would necessarily use it for specifically, but a lot of categories are fairly full. And it's like some of them got fuller understandably. Like this one here was supposed to be large plate and large brick. And it worked pretty well, but there is stuff that goes actually all the way over here. Just they're really large, and I just had more than would fit in all the drawers that are over here. So that's something that I might consider giving some more room to. But yeah, otherwise the system is working okay, at least. So that's what I got going on. I also have a package that showed up in my post office box, and we'll take a look at that right here. This came from Texas, and apparently they went right into the post office to buy the shipping for it, because it says retail. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And they paid $9.25, and I don't remember how much postage I paid, and I'm going to look into that, because I don't want them to necessarily be losing money, because if they paid retail, this would have cost less if they bought it online. So yeah, I'm going to see, I'll check on that, and I'll reach out to them to see if they're aware of that, or if maybe it was just a case like their printer was busted or something like that. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and open this up, so I'm going to put the camera over here, and hopefully that's still in view. Yep, that's a good spot. Let's see, I need the scissors. They're over here. Let's cut this right through here. There we go. All right. Here we go. I bought a whole bunch of this poly bag that we were going to be parting out, because they had it for like $2.50 a piece, and then Ben found a single cape type piece. Actually, I think it's a waistcloth that we can use. So that's it. That's the entire order. I think there's 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So I'll go add this to the pile. I might even have more of this coming now, because there was somebody else in the lug who said, hey, I'm going to be ordering from the stores or anything you need. And I think I might have found another one of those or a couple more. So I'll have to check that. But that is it. Pretty simple. I'm going to go leave that in Ben's area. And we'll probably save that bubble and cut it up for wrapping pieces, because I'm trying to recycle as much as I can. Or reuse in that case. So, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and we'll come back with another update later. Thank you. Hello. It is Saturday, and not gaming tonight. 3 of the people in the game are off at a gaming convention. So, yeah. And so here I am in the basement, and I've been dealing with stuff. First thing I did is I organized all the acro units that were labeled in order, and then I was able to identify additional ones. This one didn't have a label on it, and I added it. That's the 65 to 128. 1 to 64 was labeled. 129 to 192 is labeled. Found this one, slid it out, looked at it. Sure enough, 65 to 128. So there was 3 that I was missing when I first set it up. There was actually one acro drawer, this last one here, that has a few parts in it. None of the drawers are numbered. Very simple, little bit of stuff. And then this drawer unit is completely empty. So that one is easy to deal with. So there's really only about 17 units with stuff in them, which is good. The other thing I did, and you might have seen a little bit of it here, is I went through all the boxes that were saved from the stuff that had been parted out, and I cut out the front panel of one of each of every one. And then I wrote on the back how many of it there were. So there was 2 of this set. And so that's the stack right there. This is cardboard that I'm going to save for either wrapping figures in a package or for cutting down for dividers. The same thing with that. That's the rest of the boxes are the ones I cut down. These are boxes that there were more than one of that I did not cut down. And then these are the thin boxes that are just not worth cutting down for dividers. They're too flimsy. So with these, I'm going to check over them again and then message over it to Bricks ROC to see if there's any that they might want for like maybe a set that they have that's used. They don't have a box for, but now they'll have a box. So, and I may save those for a little while. They'll probably fit inside of one of the cardboard acro units. We'll see how that goes. But that is the first thing I did, and this is basically in an effort to, once I open up the first one, which I actually haven't opened this one up yet, when I open that up to see what the situation is in there for the actual drawers, can I identify what set it was the first one to get parted out and put in drawers. And then from there I can start propagating a file to actually put the parts in to move them somewhere. So yeah, it's going to take some time, but we'll get there. I can't think of anything else to add at this point, but We'll have more content coming up as always. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I have to actually be up and out to do something. And I think when I get home, I'm going to record a whole bunch of videos for the calendar because I'm like a week behind, and it's horrible. And what I might do is do one video for the ones I'm behind, and then record a bunch of the other ones for going forward. That is what I got. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below, and we'll continue on. Thank you. Hello. So it is Sunday, and I got up early and took care of the project I was helping work on, which was building the kits for the kits we're going to be selling at Brick Universe. And last night, I think I talked about this, but these are all the panels of at least one copy of the set that was parted out into the store I bought. This particular one, there was 3 of them that parted out, so I just wrote the number on the back. These are some still whole boxes because there was one more of this than this, so there's at least 2. I only need to cut one panel off to write the number on the back, so as you can see, there's actually a couple more. And these are ones that I don't think are going to be terribly useful to anyone. This is a pile of them that might be useful to the folks at Bricks ROC, so I'm going to hold on to these for a moment before I break them down, in case it ever gets to the point where they have these used sets and they would like to include a box with them as part of the original package deal. So we'll look at that. I also pulled out the first drawer unit, the 1 through 64, as you can see here, and brought it over here. And so you've got the drawers labeled D0001 through D0064, which is great. And then I'm like, okay, but what parts are they? So I started opening the drawers like this. So there's some jumper plates in black, some like those wheel connectors, some propellers, okay. And then I got to this one. I'm like, okay, well, that's a Jurassic Park logo or print. And so I went to figure out what set that came from. And that turned out to be this one here, which is why it's on top. And you can see it's on that little buggy there. And you'll see that there was 3 sets parted out. And look, there are 3 of them in there. So the first set that was parted out was this one. And so what I can do is I can go through this and see how far down the parts for this go and try to start verifying it. Now, I am having a little bit of an issue because I loaded up the inventory for 3 of these, and here's the 1x2 jumper plates in black. And I think there is 1 or 2 of them in the set, so that it would be 3 or 6 of them total, and as you can see, there is more than 6. So what has happened is they were consolidating, which is great, and they moved the parts from a further set to here. Now what I'm trying to figure out is the best way to go forward to inventory everything and get it into my store most efficiently. So one thing I thought about was I could actually go through and actually, since I know 3 copies of this were done, I could pull out all the parts for the 3 copies and put them in small containers. And then just keep going, because what's going to happen is I'll pull out the ones that were part of the set here, but then there's going to be more from other sets that were parted out after that. I'm just not sure how efficient that's going to be. I could also just screw it and just go through the entire drawer system and ignore the fact that they were part of sets and just start finding these pieces and adding them to a file. And that might just be as good as well. So I'm still trying to figure out what I think is the best way to attack it. It might be nice to know how complete some of these sets were. I mean, there's the propeller too. It came in this set. And then like I was looking for these orange wedge plates up here because I was looking at the file and saw they were in there, but they're way down here. So like all of those drawers have parts from that set in it. So yeah, I think, yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing yet. I'd kind of like to bounce it off a couple of people, and I've sent out a couple of messages to try to get some thoughts, but I'm just not sure what I think is going to end up being the case. So, for the time being, I'm going to kind of mull over that a little bit more. I actually also passed up on some clearance today. I just like, no, I don't need to get any more clearance at the moment. But I did put a bug in someone's ear about some of it I wouldn't mind getting if it was a little bit lower of a price. And I still have these sets to do, these Jedi temples, and they're all parted out, all done, and I'm pretty sure I have a file. I just have to basically get to it. So that's probably what I'm going to attack next, because I need to clear the table for workspace coming up this week. So yeah, that is what we got going on. I don't have anything else to add at this point, but we will come back with more later as we get stuff done. As always, thank you. Hello, back again, Sunday night, and I finished putting away the 5 copies of that Temple Jedi set. The remnants of it right there. All worked out very smoothly. I did move a few parts, mostly because I was putting away, let's say 5 or 10 of it, and there was a few there, and I was just like, it was in too big of a container, so I actually downgraded where it was drawer wise. But yeah, that is what I've been doing. I'm going to stop now, break for something to eat, and I do have a plan now for how I'm going to deal with these, and I think it's going to go relatively quickly. I hope, because I have 17 acro drawers to go through to get to the point where I can put stuff away. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but we will get there. And as always, thank you, and we'll come back with another update later on tonight. Hello, it is Monday, and I'm expecting some help here very shortly. Who I'm going to train how to pull orders, because I currently have 6 orders. We're going to look over here too, because we just got a recent email from Bricklink, and this I found interesting. This part here, it says the catalog team is planning to differentiate a few vintage elements with new color names. These aren't really new colors, but are slightly different production colors. The team confirmed via old production data that unique colors are used to make these vintage parts. In the end, a few singular colors will be separated into several hues to better reflect the production color. The affected shades are pink, light orange, and light lime. Pink will separate into pink and rose pink elements, light orange into light orange and warm yellowish orange elements, and light lime into light lime and lemon elements. We'll let affected sellers know in a separate email about these updates. So I thought that was really interesting. So we're kind of getting acknowledgement there's some different colors out there. So that's really interesting. I like to see that kind of a change going on. Far better than removing some of the part variants that they had included. I just think that was a wrong move. But in any case, thank you. Hello. I also realized that I don't think I took any video. I basically have gone through the first Acro Unit Plus. Over here some. The first few rows of those don't have that much in them. I moved stuff over here. And I've been putting stuff in a file. These are the 2 sets so far that I found pieces from. And then there was some pieces that weren't in either of those sets, so those have been moved over here for the time being. And then we'll move forward. I think the next set is going to be that yellow Jeep, because there's lots of yellow Technic pieces in here. So we're gonna get to that next. But in the meantime, I have to pull orders, and I am waiting for someone that I'm going to be training on how to do that. So yeah, and then this stack here was just, I put the laptop here and was working from the drawers. It was a little easier to have it higher up like that. But yeah, that's what I got going on. We're going to try to get parts into the store perhaps later today. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. We'll see. But some of the stuff, there's quite a lot of quantity. Like this one here, this is an interesting one. Let me move water out of the way. The white 1x2 plates, there was 198 of them. Much more than were in the set that I was dealing with, but that was probably because more of them were in other sets, and so they just added to them. So that's it. Just going to keep plowing away at this. Thank you.